The current precious metals correction fuels the next leg higher for mining stocks. I will give you 3 reasons why that is so, and I will state my opinion on the current chart on gold, GDX, and silver. I will give you information about Newmont earnings. Are they bullish? Are they bearish? What are the insights? And I will give you, well, my opinion about why retail investors and institutional investors will fuel the next leg higher with even more money to come in the space. So let's kick off with the current gold chart. As you can see, this is the gold chart based on monthly candles, and the current correction is up here. And as you can see, the correction is nothing compared to the move up we just had. From the lows of 2015, we made more than 4x, and from the start of the year, we made more than 2x in gold price itself. And when you go down to the lower time frame, I will show you what I draw on my chart. And as you can see, we just broke below this important Fibonacci retracement level and below this until now important support diagonal line. And currently going on the 4-hour chart, I see 2 scenarios happening. Either way, it's bullish, okay? So the first scenario is that we will bounce right here after the 8.5% correction, go into a lower time frame uptrend again, 50-minute chart time frame uptrend, and get another all-time high above this double highs at around $4,400, or, which is even more bullish because you can buy even lower if you want to accumulate more mining stocks, which I will obviously do, is that we see another leg lower below this horizontal support, maybe, which would be really good, onto this diagonal uptrending support line, which we tested twice so far, 2 times, and then we will go higher, make another high, and after a few weeks of accumulation, we reach new all-time highs again. So those are my 2 scenarios. When you go on the daily chart, bringing in the stock RSI, normal RSI, we see that this correction was actually needed. On the weekly chart as well, we are well overbought so far. But one important thing for you to know on the monthly chart is that on a bull trend, it is normal to be overbought on the higher time frame for several months, even for several years, okay? So for example, if you would have sold your gold position in October just because the RSI was extremely high, you would have missed out a lot of gains because the RSI went even higher after a small correction. So just my knowledge after 7 years of investing and trading assets. So in a bull market, higher time frame RSI can be overbought for such a long time. But as I said, the correction is really healthy. We need to see a little bit of cool off on the weekly, on the daily chart at least, okay? So this is currently happening, which is pretty bullish. Let's go to GDX as well, the gold miners ETF, and we can see that we also had a correction right here. Let's go to the monthly chart. We just broke new all-time highs, and now we are in a corrective period. Either it will stop already, based on the gold chart, maybe scenario 1 I just told you about, we are going higher already, or this will make another second leg down onto those horizontal support zones, the previous all-time highs, which would be even more healthier, as I said. So the second leg lower would be pretty good for prices, would be pretty healthy for the current uptrend to go even higher in the coming weeks and months. So let's check out silver as well. On silver, we just broke our all-time high. We broke out above this uptrending channel a few months ago, and currently we have this all-time high resistance, but I think that after a short period of time, a few days, a few weeks, 1, 2, 3 months, I think that we will break out as well and go even higher. Silver will just follow gold, even simultaneously or a little bit delayed, it doesn't matter, but silver mining stocks and silver precious metal price itself will follow gold and go even higher. So let's go to the Newmont earnings and let's see if those are bullish or bearish and what I think will happen in the coming weeks because of those Newmont earning reports. So going to the highlights of Q3, we can see that Newmont just made 640 million cash proceeds. This is basically earnings they made in a quarter, and they generated a record third quarter free cash flow of $1.6 billion, which is obviously caused by low AISC, but really good and high gold prices and selling prices of gold. One other positive information, but not for the sector in general, but for Newmont itself, is that they retired $2 billion in debt, ending the quarter in a near zero debt position, which is really good for everybody who holds the stock, which is nice information for everybody who wants to buy the stock or even accumulate more. So when you go lower, we can see AISC is around $1,500 per ounce, which means they make profit of $2,500 per ounce they mine, they take out of the ground, which is really, really high. And with the gold price in Q4 being even higher than last quarter at around $4,000 right now, their earnings will go even higher. They will go up by even another $500 if the price stays at current level. If the price goes even higher or falls a little bit lower, well, it fluctuates a little bit. But as you can see, the earnings are really good in my opinion. Even the earnings got beaten by, I think, more than 25% than estimated. So everything is fine. Newmont had really nice earnings in my opinion, and I think the market will anticipate, based on Newmont earnings, that the other mining stocks will have good earnings too, especially the big major mining companies, even some of the mid-tier and juniors. So this is one reason why I think, or another reason, not just based on chart analysis, but also based on this earnings by Newmont, that this current correction is just another fueling indicator for the next leg higher. And one more thing, the most important thing in my opinion, why we will most likely see another leg higher in the mining stocks and in precious metals itself, is that most of the investors, the general investors who invest in the Nasdaq, tech stocks and whatever, aren't that much invested into gold stocks or silver mining stocks just yet. They just heard of it, that gold got a new all-time high, silver got a new all-time high, more than $50 per ounce, and they missed the train so far. With this small correction, gold at around 8.5%, which is really, it's nothing based on the gains we made solely this year. And with this correction, they see an opportunity to get into the market, get into mining stocks, get into juniors, speculate even more. And that's the big reason why I think that retail investors, but hedge fund managers will start investing in mining stocks as well, because they missed the train. They need to be on the trend, everybody needs to hop on the trend if something is trending. If you miss the trend, if you're not riding the train, if you're not riding the trend, your customers will not be satisfied. They will search for another fund manager, fund manager, whoever, who will invest in those mining stocks, who will take part, who will anticipate in those gains that are to be made. So not just retail investors, but also institutional investors will most likely hook up on this downtrend, hook up on this correction, on this lower turn downtrend, to start investing in those companies, in those mining companies, which make record earnings so far because of such high precious metal prices, such as gold and silver. So those are my reasons, 3 reasons. Newmont earnings are really good. The chart looks nice as well, maybe even more downside, which means more chances, more rewards in the coming months we can make. And because of institutional and retail investors hopping on the train just right now, because this is the first bigger correction since the last push up higher, since the push from 3,300 up to 4,000, almost 400. So yeah guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to get more videos, watch more videos about gold, silver, and other mining stocks, uranium, and so on, leave a follow, leave a like. I would appreciate it a lot. And let me know your opinion in the comments. What do you think? Do you think the earnings are good? Do you think the earnings are bad from Newmont? And do you think that this correction will fuel the next leg higher even more? Have a nice day. Goodbye.